Picture those black sand beaches, crowded with visitors. Now imagine every hotel stay actually helping to protect those same shores. Hawaii's new climate tax, or green fee, could end up changing how we travel, maybe even worldwide.
So it's May 11th, 2025, and Hawaii just made some history. They're the first state in the U.S. to pass a climate tax that's aimed right at visitors. It's called the green fee. Can you break down exactly what that is?
Yeah, definitely. So it's basically a bump on the transient accommodations tax, TAT. They're raising it by 0.75 percentage points, so now it's at 11%. And it's not just for hotels or vacation rentals anymore. For the first time, cruise ships that dock in Hawaii also have to pay.
That's a big shift. Cruise ships bring in a lot of people, but they weren't taxed like this before, right? And wait, when does this actually start?
January 1st, 2026, the state's expecting to pull in about $100 million a year from it. And all of that, every dollar, is set aside for climate resilience work. So it's not going into a general fund. It's for things like restoring coral reefs, putting sand back on beaches, hurricane preparation, and even clearing out invasive grasses, the kind that made last year's Lahaina wildfires worse.
Those wildfires were just devastating. But is this tax only a reaction to that disaster? Or has it been developing for a while?
It's been a long time coming, 7 years actually. Jack Kittinger from Care for Aina Now called it a wild moonshot when they started pushing for it. First, there was the tourism boom, then COVID hit, then the wildfires. Each one kept adding urgency. The governor, Josh Green, he's been a strong backer. He says this isn't just a quick fix, it's a generational commitment, and no other state's tried it yet.
So he's expected to sign this into law by July 9th. But let's talk about the numbers. Hawaii needs something like $560 million a year for environmental protection, right? This green fee covers just a fraction of that.
Yeah, exactly. The $100 million is just a start, not the whole answer. But considering Hawaii had 10 million tourists a year before COVID, and it's still around 6 million now, there's just so much strain on the environment.
What does that kind of visitor traffic actually do to the environment? Is it just about crowding, or is there more to it?
It goes a lot deeper. About 60% of Hawaii's native plants and animals are endangered. Tourism leads to things like deforestation, habitat loss, polluted beaches, water shortages. Oh, and here's a pretty shocking stat. A 2021 study found air travel by visitors created 18 million tons of CO2 in just 2019. That's over twice what all of Hawaii's own power plants and refineries produced.
Wow, that's a huge carbon footprint. So is this tax really targeting the main cause, or is it just a temporary patch?
It's meant to make the people creating the impact, the visitors, help cover the cost of solutions. The idea isn't just to raise money. It's about responsibility, making sure those who benefit also help protect.
Could other places that rely on tourism do something like this? Is it a model for them?
There are some lessons here. First, it's a direct way for tourists to support the places they visit. Second, it sets up a dedicated fund for climate and conservation work. And third, it actually faces the root problem, the tourism impact, instead of just fixing the damage after the fact.
And, it sounds like a long-term move, not just a reaction to a single event. The governor called it a generational commitment. But how do we know the money really goes where it's supposed to?
That's still kind of an open question. The bill says the money's earmarked, but there aren't a lot of public details yet on how they'll measure results or keep track of the funds. We don't know how strong the oversight will be.
And what about reaction from the tourism industry or local businesses? Any pushback yet?
So far, not much public backlash, But there's been tension for years, especially from native Hawaiians who've protested the impacts of tourism. This tax tries to address those concerns while still keeping the economy going. Whether it's enough, though, that's still up in the air.
So, would you say this is the start of a new model for tourism, or more of an experiment?
Honestly, that's what everyone's watching now. If Hawaii can show real progress, like healthier reefs or fewer wildfires, other places might want to do the same. But if the money gets lost in bureaucracy, or if tourism drops off, it could be a warning for others.
Either way, it feels like a turning point. Will other places start charging a price for paradise too?
That's the big question. As climate risks keep growing, more destinations might decide visitors should help pay to protect what makes these places special.
All right, that's our show for today. From black sand beaches to climate taxes, Kauai's move might change the way we all travel. Thanks for joining us. Next time you're booking a trip, will you be seeing a green fee?
Thanks for listening. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.